Hey there, we're live. Just thought I would just hop on and give some information out that I found. I see there's one on, but I'm not too sure who's on. If certainly enjoying a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I know Audit and I both had commented at the LAPD commissioners meeting this morning, and we definitely gave them the 1-2 punch. But we were commenting, how do you know if you are being a threat? How do you know if Church of Scientology actually thinks of you? Hey, Best Coast Life, how are you doing today? How do you know if they think you're a threat? And how do you know if somebody might be a plant? That was just some really good information that we received. We were reviewing some of the old videos from Mark Bunker and from the Xenu.net. And the Church of Scientology gave some really good clues about whether they think you are a threat or not. And I listed them out on here so that way people can use them, and you can post um, my thumbnail if you want for other reviews. And the first thing they try and do is they try and educate you. They try and make it sound like they are the best thing since sliced bread, that they have the answer to all the woes of humanity. They're going to cure everything. And if you just have a touch assist, you can cure everything in your body. So that's the first thing they do, is if they think you're a threat, they're going to try and educate you. Hi, Cinderella. Cinderella, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. The second thing that they try and hi, Jersey Jan, how are you doing today? Is they try, if the education piece doesn't work, then they try and fair game you and harass you. And fair gaming, I know everybody and their brother's been through what fair gaming really is, and that's where they um, try and get you to look bad. They try and send notes. I know quite a few people right now are going through where they've sent their relatives notes and informing them of their bad behaviors, whether real or imagined. And fair gaming also is some harassment with um, sending the police to your door, having you arrested for fake crimes, or even maybe some real crimes. Um, we saw a little bit of the fair gaming and harassment when um, all of those ladies were getting pictures from um, the gentleman of his genital areas, whereas maybe in the past um, it might have gotten reported, but this was extra information that was put out into the waves. It was almost like, well, definitely trying to exploit his bad behavior, fair gaming him, which he shouldn't have been doing the bad behavior to begin with. The third thing they try and do is then if they can't get you by educating you or fair gaming you, then they put you through the litigation system. And we're seeing that too, where now, whether they're real or imagined lawsuits, that they try and make it to where, look at the boob gate. Poor Nancy Drew is going through a heck of a time, and she's had to come up with quite a bit of money in which the community has helped her a lot, but she's still responsible for it. But they try and litigate you so that way you run out of money. And you think, well, should I? It must be being a threat. Should I stop? The fourth thing they do is they pay you off. And we saw that in all of their videos from way back when, that these are the 4 steps that they take if they feel that you are a threat. And honestly, if you're not in any of these cycles, Imma say this till the cows come home, They either don't think you're a threat or they already won. So, where are you in your advocacy and in your protesting? We can see the evidence in quite a few of the people, but in some people, you have to go, uh, are they not doing anything to be a threat, or have they been mitigated, litigated, or paid off? And that's really something I want you to think about when we're watching some of these people on these live streams. Just have that in the back of your head. Are they a threat? Have they been mitigated, litigated, or paid off? And that'll definitely give you the answer. And in some cases, I think it's some folks that have a lot of followers that have been mitigated, litigated, or paid off. And Church of Scientology just doesn't think they're a threat anymore. It's kind of sad because honestly, I want to slay the dragon. I want to see them gone. I want to see them out of commission, out of the commissions. I want to see them out of children's lives and out of abusing children because kids can't consent. And that's gonna be my mantra forever and ever. And I want to read to you my public comment this morning. Last week, they had an emergency public meeting to discuss. Um, they're still picking the new police chief for LAPD, and so they had an emergency meeting so that way they could do public comment. And it was quite obvious that they didn't really want public comment, but they had to have public comment. And that was obvious because they limited it to the standard 45 minutes of testimony or comment, and they cut it off directly at that 45 minutes. And I was a little upset because I had my hand raised to do public comment and they didn't pick me. So I rewrote it this morning and I want to read it to you. It says, I need to open this comment up with a what the hell. Last week, you had an emergency meeting to hear public comment about the selection of the new chief, and then you limited time of comments. I still want my voice heard. We in the community pray that the new chief is strong and determined to bring justice through the rule of law. The new chief needs to be cognizant of improprieties that are prevalent in the department, improprieties that include a bias toward the Church of Scientology. And we would pray the new chief can pitch the status quo to enforce the laws to protect children being abused and survivors of the cult not given due process to reconcile their wounds. I offer this picture to not just the chief, but all of you. A box in the middle of a church pray area. The box is full of poisonous serpents and vipers. A parent puts a child in the middle of the box. You are tasked with deciding is this freedom of religious First Amendment rights or child abuse? And I pray you take this task to heart. Hashtag kids cannot consent. That was my comment this morning. Hey, Pinche Becky. Ooh, all right. What are we grocery shopping for? Hopefully something good. I have a secret to tell you, Becky. I'll wait for you to answer. What are you shopping for? Becky, Becky, Bo Becky. Okay, Becky, I have confession time. Ooh, ceviche. So, was it last night or the night before we were watching Poe? And you happened to be on there, and you were talking about somebody was talking about some good food, and I had a frozen burrito, beef and bean burrito. You know, one of those frozen ones that I microwaved, and I threw some cheese sauce on there and some salsa, and I was enjoying it, but I thought, Becky would probably be smacking me silly having a frozen burrito. I thought it was funny. Anyways, I thought of you. So, Becky, we have, yeah, they are good. They're probably not the best thing for you. They probably have lots of additives and everything, but they are good. So Thursday, I believe, tomorrow's Wednesday the 31st, the 1st, we actually got on the agenda for the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. So we're going to be giving, I think we have 5 or 10 minutes on their agenda. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, you can't beat them going in for a minute and a half in the microwave, though. It certainly makes for a quick meal. Then you throw some good nacho sauce on there or something, and yum, yum, yum. So, if anybody is interested in the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council Thursday evening, we have a 5 to 10 minute time slot on their agenda. Yay! So we're gonna be talking about the road closures, the unpermitted construction, and the planters that are getting in the way of everything. Those are our 3 agenda items that we're going to talk about. So if anybody would like to join us, that is the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council Thursday evening, I think at 6 o'clock. I would have to double check on that. So that is mainly what I wanted to talk about today, was just, are you being a threat? And if they don't think you're a threat, then are you really doing any good? Or have you been paid off already? Have you already been scared off or paid off? Every year, Cinderella, I have I can't do a garden, like get on my hands and knees to actually plant stuff. But what I had done is I had bought a bunch of those um, garden, they're the fabric buckets. And so I garden in fabric buckets. And I have some 5 gallon, some 10 gallon, and then I also have some 20 gallons, which I do potatoes and stuff in. This year, of course, with my shoulders being the way they are, I haven't been able to plant, and so I'm so jealous about that. But the first year, I had a friend come over and bring me some tomato plants, some onions, and some jalapenos, and some cilantro. And the first year, that's what I grew, was those 4 things to make my own pico and salsa. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I was so proud of myself. And it certainly wasn't the best, and it probably wasn't Becky level salsa, but I did it. I was just so proud of myself. And I tell you, homemade cilantro is good. Some people think it tastes like soap. I I don't have that problem. I think it's a wonderful thing. So I get you, Cinderella. It is awesome being able to grow in your own stuff. Yeah, those fabric buckets are just phenomenal. The only problem that you have with them is it's really hard to water them, to keep them water, because the water sieves out of them so quick that you have to go out and pretty much water every day, if not every other day. Yeah, so they dry out really quick. But it's really nice to be able to do a little bit of gardening, and I can't wait. Next year, I'm back on it. I'm gonna be back into gardening. but I didn't get anything planted quick enough this year, so that's okay. Yeah, I happen to be actually where I'm the hospice of growing things. I'm where all green things go to die. I'm horrible at keeping anything alive. So that's why I was really so proud of myself that I could grow the things enough to make salsa with because it just really shocked me that I could keep something alive that long. That sounds bad, but hey, yeah, and so it was kind of a therapy for me too. I would go out and water my buckets every day and look to see if I had any yellow flowers on my tomato plants. And then when they start growing, I just couldn't get them to grow fast enough and went out and I had some corn plants, some corn stalks, and actually grew corn in the buckets too. And went out and babied them and sprayed them with oil so that way the earworms didn't get out there. Yep. Yeah, that's a great idea, Becky. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind giving up a little bit of what I've got on my mind right now to be able to sit out there and just water the flowers or water actually I don't have a lot of flowers because I'm not too happy with bees. Mm, bees are my scary things. I think I've almost jumped off boats because of bees, and my son's highly allergic to bees, like keel over dead allergic to bees. So we try and keep the bees away, even though I know you need them to propagate things. But yeah, I wish I didn't have so much on my mind. I wish let's close down this stupid church cult. Let's close them down so that way we can have all this time set aside for other things. Wouldn't that be nice? Then, maybe we could have this big art studio. We can have a big art challenge. And I love it that Tilty and Two Sandwiches Tall got on the screen yesterday. Or no, it was Sunday. Sunday at 3, they were having a get together where they were talking about advocacy and how to do things. And they were both and Tilty was drawing, she drew an underwater scene, and she even put in a flatfish for me, a halibut. It was so cool. And then I didn't know what the heck Two Sandwiches was doing, but by the time she was done, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. She took it was a fabric, a square fabric. Yeah, that's what we have to have EpiPens for my son. Yeah, he last year, but the year before he actually kind of died on me. I had to call 911 and they had to stab him with an EpiPen a couple of times, had to take him. And then this year he got zapped again by some hornets. Yeah, I love art and I love to draw and I love to paint, but I'm so bad at it. And that's not just me being critical. I'm really, really bad at it. But I love to do it. But then you get into things like I know Eric Rader said he got some crochet hooks and knitting needles. I just don't have the patience for that. I want it boop, done. That's why gardening is so hard. Is once you plant the seeds, you have to wait for them to grow, and then you have to wait for them to flower, and then you have to wait for them to fruit. It is I have no patience whatsoever. So, anybody have any questions or about threats? That's I was really interested to see, if you review some of our larger channels with these steps and this question in mind, it makes you kinda go, "Hmm, they must not be doing anything, or they must not be a threat." So, just thought I'd throw that, brain teaser out there for you. Becky, have fun shopping. Yeah, well, the thing is that people can get stung when they're younger, and then all of a sudden when they're older, like Becky just said, uh, all of a sudden when they're older, they get stung, it zaps them out. Yep, you have to be rushed to the hospital, and it closes up your throat and makes you turn blue. Yeah, I'm not even gonna, throw that one out to the chances of the world or karma of the world that I ever get stung, because I haven't been stung since I was little, so. And Adam, if you're still on, thanks for your humor. You always crack me up. When you're on the channel, you can always count on you for some good sarcastic humor coming through. Okay, guys, just wanted to do a quick one. I thank you for indulging me, and I thank you for being on. Um, Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Audit LA and I are going to join Poe. I put a link on my page, and I know Poe has a link on his page, and we're going to discuss some of this permit fiasco that's been going on. And we might even talk a little bit about this threat issue. So I love you all, and I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for joining me. Bye.